Hello everybody, this is John Big Dog Wagner coming at you. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm out here in New Mexico on the way to Texas. The topic I want to talk about today is a topic that I've been dealing with for months. Entitlement versus reality. And the entitlement that people are coming with is a bunch of stuff that they see on these stupid videos. These people complaining, the company's a scam, all this other stuff. So I'm going to address a lot of the issues that come up this entitlement behaviors, entitlement personality. Okay, one of the first things that comes up most frequently is that superego charges you for your fuel more than you pay at the pump. I've done told you guys before, I fuel primarily at Love's. I don't fuel at Love's, I fuel at TA or Pilot. Both of these companies have apps. And on their apps, they have your receipts. They say how much you spent. It tells you where, when, the whole nine. So when I get my statements, match my statements up with the receipts, and they match. They're not charging me more than what I paid. Then the other thing that I hear is that, well, Super Eagle gets a discount for the fuel, and they don't pass that discount on to you. Well, if any of you have ever had a fuel card, Exxon, Mobil, Speedy, whatever, and you get a discount pump because you punch in your grocery store club card number or whatever, you see that reduction immediately, and it reflects on your total price. What you're paying at that pump includes your discount. So again, if they got a discount at the pump, that discount you got because that's what you paid at the pump. And again, you can match it with your receipts when you look at your statement. The other rumor I hear, or the other, is that Super Eagle gets a kickback from these fuel stations. And we are entitled, quote unquote, we are entitled to these kickbacks because we are the ones that put the gas, the fuel in the truck. Okay, so let's look at that. Super Eagle has approximately 4,000 trucks around. If each truck only put $500 a day in it, 5 times 4,000 is 20,000. Add 2 zeros, it's $2 million. $2 million a day times 7 days, because you don't get your statement. You get your statement once a week, so they don't get anything back until the end of the week. There's $14 million that they're crediting, that they're fronting, that they're putting out of their money, so that these drivers can stay on the road. I hope like hell they get any kickback. If that was me spending that much money at a fuel station, I'd want a kickback. Otherwise, I'd take my business to a different fuel station. But what entitles you, the driver, to that kickback? How much money are you putting up front? How much of your credit are you putting up front? How much fuel are you buying out of your pocket up front? So what entitles you to a kickback? You want a kickback? Go get your own fuel card. Use your credit card. Pay out of your pocket. And then all the rumors about what's going on with Fuel the Super Eagle comes to an end. You won't have any fuel taken out of your statement because all your fuel will be on you. And then if you get a kickback, that's your kickback. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you had that kind of money to put up and you was putting up millions of dollars every week for fuel for somebody else, you'd want to kick back too. So I hope like hell they get the kickback. Do I feel like I deserve part of that kickback? I ain't spending my money. I'm spending theirs. So I hope that clears up that issue. The other thing I'm hearing is that the rates that were being offered, that were being paid for these jobs, are not the rates that the brokers are paying. I know for a fact they are. I've been in many bid wars back and forth with my dispatcher and the broker. And what we finally agree on, that's what I get on my job sheet. That's what I get on my information sheet. That's what I get on my rate card. They don't agree to pay me X amount of dollars. And then, hey, Super Eagle, on the slide, we gonna give you an extra few thousand. No, it don't work that way. Well, let's say it did. I'm getting what I agreed to get to run the load, right? So if it's a 400-mile load and I agreed to run it for $1,000, a Super Eagle gets paid $3,000. So what? I agreed to run it for $1,000, right? So when I get my sheet, if it reflects that $1,000, and then when I'm done, I get my statement, and my statement has that $1,000 on it, what do I have to complain about? Where'd the company screw me over? If I said I'd run it for $1,000 and they got paid $10,000, so what? I agreed to run it for $1,000. That's what I got paid, $1,000. If you work for a company and you agree to work for $1,000 a week, and this company 1 week has record sales and does $100 million, does that mean that you're supposed to get a percentage of that? Or are you supposed to get your agreed upon salary, $1,000? If that company does the worst week it's ever done since it's been in business, you're supposed to get money taken out of your $1,000? Or are you supposed to get your $1,000? $1,000 was agreed upon salary. So whether they make money or they lose money, come payday, your payday should reflect $1,000, right? So if you agree to drive a load for $1,000, at that point, it doesn't matter what the company took in. You agree to drive it for $1,000. $1,000 is what you should be paid. Now, if you think $1,000 is not enough to cover the load, what do? You tell them no, I won't take that load for $1,000. You want me to drive it? I need $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 to drive the load. If the broker will pay what you're asking, great. If the broker won't pay what you're asking, get another load. That's simple. But if you agree to drive a load, and I happen to know when the broker pays what the agreed upon price is, and that's what goes on your information sheet. If you agree to drive a load for a certain rate, as long as you're getting that rate that you agreed upon, how are you being screwed? How are you being taken advantage of? That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. I hear about super ego takes advantage of people when they get repairs done. They put an added percentage. Again, I know that's not true. And if people were smart, whenever they got a repair done, they'd get a copy of the work order. Work order has the rates on it. Has the prices for the repair on it. For what the parts cost, for what the labor costs. Now every now and again I run into a repair shop that's, oh, well, privacy, blah, blah, blah. Do-do-do-do-do. Hello, super ego. Let him know that I have the authorization to know what the prices are for these repairs. And then they print me out a different work order. And it gives me all the prices on it. And then if I'm ever in question, I total up what I got, call up payroll, see what they got, match it up. But then also when I get my statement, it has the invoice number and everything on it. So I go back to my repair orders, I look at the invoice order, and yep, that matches up. But again, if they get a kickback or something like that for all the repairs, whose money are you spending for the repairs? Spending theirs. Some of these repairs, only a few $100s, got to change the tire. Some of these repairs are thousands of dollars. Rings, steering pump, water pump.
Extreme cold watch in 50 miles.
New AC system, new radiator. Whatever it is going bad. But they are paying for it. You're spending their money. Now, you want the kickback for the repairs? Break out your credit card. Tap your bank account. And spend your money. And if you spend enough money, maybe you'll get a kickback too. But if you're not spending money, literally, how can you complain about the person who is spending that money getting a benefit from the company? What entitles you to that benefit? They're spending their money on you. They're crediting you hundreds to thousands of dollars so that you can keep your truck on the road. What entitles you to a benefit? So if they're getting the benefit, good on them. I hope like hell they are. Because if it was my money I was putting up front, I'd want a benefit too. Otherwise, I'd take my truck someplace else and get them fixed. 4,000 trucks on the road, you know, at least 25% of them will go into a shop that week, if not more. 25% of them, it's 1,000 trucks. They average $1,000 per repair. You're back in the millions of dollars. I mean, people are literally, oh, they get a benefit from the fuel. They get a benefit from the repairs. They get a benefit. They're taking advantage of us. They're keeping money from us. What? If your receipts match up for your fuel and for your repairs, and if your statement matches up with the prices that you agreed to drive the loads for, where are you being taken advantage of? Where are you being scammed? Where is it that you're entitled to your money? Now, if you were too stupid to not work on the details and take a load that didn't have any money in it, that's on you. That's your stupidity. Or your ignorance, or your lack of knowledge. But no matter how you look at it, you chose to take a load without doing the details. You chose to take a load that had no money in it. And whatever money that was in it, you burned it up because you didn't figure out what your costs were going to be on food and fuel and things like that. So again, that falls on you. That falls on you. And all your entitlement, this company scam. I've asked people, okay, so they scammed you? Cool. Let's look at your statements and let's look at your fuel receipts. Oh no, I don't have no fuel receipts. I don't keep them. Well, if you don't keep your fuel receipts, how do you know they scammed you? But I noticed you just fueled at Love's. Love's has fuel receipts on the app. Let's look at your app and match your fuel receipts with your statement. Oh no, I don't have Love's app. Really? So in other words, you know you're lying, and you don't want me to prove you're lying. Well, let's look at your repair invoices. Where's your repair invoice? I don't keep those. I don't get those. They don't allow me to get them. What do you mean they don't allow you to get them? I got a truck full of them. No. Whenever I ask for a receipt for the repairs, they won't give it to me. You're lying. Again, I got a truck full of them. From Love's, from Speedco, from TA, and from Petro. I even have one from an off-brand company because none of those companies were nearby. And I got receipts for every repair I've had done. I've got estimates for every repair that was refused. So if you're telling me that you have no receipts for your repairs, no work orders for your repairs, no nothing, and it's because they wouldn't give it to you, you're lying. And you know you're lying, and I know you're lying. But now you're going to go make a video. Because you're entitled. And you're entitled because you didn't make it. And now you're fabricating all this stuff to try to make it sound good. But if you ever really listen to what you're saying, if you ever listen to what some of these people are saying, come on, bro. I just saw a video. This dude was talking about Super Ego took his truck and took his trailer and they sent it to the auction. They didn't want to fix it. And when he got back to America, blah, 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 blah. Oh, that Super Ego offered to give him $40,000 for his truck to go towards a new one. I knew the guy was lying right off the bat. How did I know? His trailer was a reefer. And I know the wait list is about a year and a half to 2 years long to get a reefer. And he said he'd been with the company for 4 years. That means his trailer was about 2 years old. They sent that to auction because it was no good? What the hell? I also know the Super Eagle rebuilds engines and the whole thing. So what was it that couldn't be fixed? And then it hit me. Super Eagle didn't offer him $40,000 for his truck. The insurance company offered him $40,000 for his truck. Dude crashed his truck and trailer, rolled it. And the insurance company said it wasn't worth fixing. And the insurance company took his truck and trailer to auction and settled on $40,000 for the value of his truck and trailer. But he didn't want to say that in this video. And all his entitlement, they took his truck, they wouldn't give it back, they didn't want to fix it, they really screwed him. Next thing you knew, his truck was at the auction. Really? Entitlement versus reality. Now, you guys can watch these videos and you guys can believe what you want. But if you really pay attention to these videos, you can see where people are lying. But I just gave you the reality of the stuff that they're complaining about, of the stuff that they're saying. If you decide to come here with the mentality that you want. Come here believing what you want. Come here doing what you want. But these guys that are making these videos, they all fail. You can follow their footsteps, or you can follow the footsteps of people who are still here. People who are making money. That's your choice. With that, enough said.